past, please think of the future. Thank you very much, sir.
Sri Vaiko, 7 minutes.
Honorable Vice Chairman, sir, thank you very much. First of all, I would say that Article 356 of the Constitution, which is being misused by the Union government, threatening the state government, should be deleted. The government is weaponizing this article to topple the elected government in the states. Originally, when the Constitution was adopted, the subjects education and agriculture were in the state list. Unfortunately, during the emergency, they were transferred to the concurrent list. I have moved a private member bill for bringing it back to the state list. The greatest justice, Honorable Krishna said on April 8, 1989, if there is any constitutional institution hurrying to commit harakiri under the Indian sun, it is the office of Rajpal. There are several pathological factors which feed the suicide appetite. The euphemism of the Constitution, when operated by illiterates in the axioms of the Westminster culture, lends itself to horrendous distortions which never happen. If the wheels of the governance are steered by the educated and intrepid governors who are aware of the relevant arts, acquire constitutional humility, and have a vision of the processes of democracy, which empower them with wisdom to guide and courage to resist pressures from illicit quarters, particularly from the Union executive. No governor or president ever acts on his own. He has no sphere machinery to seek information or secure advice except the Department of Government. Indeed, by virtue of his high office, he cannot walk into the streets and make enquiries. He cannot demand from any source he fancies materials necessary for deciding questions which may arise before him in his non-governor capacity, and indeed he may become the subject of serious criticism and constitutional misdemeanor if he gets enmeshed in political controversy or litigative embarrassment through dubious consultations of his own. The guarantee of making the governor a chancellor is that in the usual constitutional manner, he will seek and rely upon advice given to him by the education or other relevant ministry. Whenever such questions arise in government, the governor's power is only to act according to the advice of his ministers and not investigate on his own and decide differently or indifferently. But that is happening in Tamil Nadu now by the governor. Independence of judgment is the first constitutional casualty of governorship and not measure of the presidency, except no to direct reconsideration, seek effective information from the ministry. The measure of the tyranny and treachery of the euphemistic text is gained from an instance. Article 52 declares that supreme command of the defense forces shall vest in the president. Can it be that the president is the supreme commander and can order the armies about? That will be naked dictatorship, demolishing democracy. Similarly, literally, construction leads to tyranny of meaning, and a governor or for that matter, president may well become under the device of construction a dangerous Caesar. Discordant and disgruntled politicians from the party in power in the union who cannot be accommodated elsewhere get appointed. Such persons while in office tend to function as agents of the union government rather than an impartial constitutional functionary. The number of governors who have displayed the qualities of ability, integrity, impartiality, and statesmanship has been on the declining side. These are the words of Baba Sahib Dr. Ambedkar. Speaking in the Constituent Assembly on the choice of governors, Jawaharlal Nehru observed, I think it would be infinitely better if he was not intimately connected with the local politics of the province, and would it not be better to have a more detached figure, obviously a figure that must be acceptable to the government of the province, and he must not be known to be a part of the party machine of the province. But on the whole, it probably would be desirable to have people from outside, eminent people, sometimes people who have not taken too great a part in politics. Politicians would probably like a more active domain for their activities But there may be eminent educationists or persons eminent in other walks of life who would naturally, while cooperating fully with the government and carrying out the policy of the government, it is obviously desirable that eminent leaders of minorities, eminent leaders of groups should have a chance. I think will have a far better chance in the process of nomination than in the election. This is the Constituent Assembly Debates, Revised Edition, Volume 8, Volume 3, pages 455 and 456. In order to ensure proper selection of governors, we cannot do better than reiterate the criteria laid down in this regard by Jawaharlal Nehru. As senior politicians are among those who are eligible for selection, it is desirable that a politician from the ruling party in the union is not appointed as governor of a state which is being run by some other party or a combination of other parties. Any error in this respect can be pointed out by the Chief Minister during consultation at the pre-appointment stage. Regrettably, all these noble suggestions have found their way into the waste paper basket at the PM Secretariat. The Rajamannar Committee on the Governor's Office stated that the governor should be appointed always in consultation with the state cabinet. He further says the governor should be rendered ineligible for second term of office under governor or any other office of government. He should not be liable for removal except proved misbehavior or incapacity after inquiry by the Supreme Court. Center-state relations, we have followed the British parliamentary system. Cardinal principles of British parliamentary system was followed by our forefathers, and in their wisdom, when they evolved the constitution, they followed the principle of first past to the post, whether he or she is the winner. That is the principle. I do not say that is the only perfect system, but I will take only 2 minutes. But this is system which we have adopted. There are other systems in France. Unless they get more than 50%, there will be another election. Even in the United States of America, although a political party, whether the Republican or Democrat, get more votes in the states, it cannot get the chair of the president because of the electoral college system. I emphasize that let namaz be conducted in every mosque, right from the Himalayas down to Kanyakumari. Prayers be conducted in every church throughout the length and breadth of the country. Pujas be performed in all the temples. Prayers to be held in Gurdwaras, Buddha Vihars, Jain temples, and the message of rationalism may also be spread by the torchbearers of rationalism without any hindrance and without any offending anybody. This is the nucleus of secularism. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens. The zealots of Hindutva forces are bent upon demanding to remove the 2 words in the preamble, socialism and secularism, in an undemocratic manner. I remember the words of Aringer Anna in the Rajya Sabha made in '63. I can never forget that I have got a holy language called Tamil. I will be never satisfied and I cannot be contained till that language in which my forefathers spoke, in which my poets have given sermons and scriptures, in which we have...
Mr. Vaiko, please.
I'll be concluding, sir. I will be concluding, please. The literature and inexhaustible language, knowledge, will find a due place as one of the official languages of the Union of India. The government should set up a committee to study the feasibility of treating all the 22 languages included in the 8th schedule of the Constitution on official languages. The Assembly has not only refrained from putting a seal of finality and infallibility upon this Constitution, but denying to the people the right to amend the Constitution, as in Canada, or by making the amendment in the Constitution subject to fulfillment, extraordinary terms and conditions, as in America or Australia.
समाप्त हो गया माननीय सदस्य प्लीज आप बोलिए हाँ 1 मिनट में एक रामजीलाल जी कृपया बैठे रामजीलाल जी
It is not a federal constitution.
1 minute.
It is neither federal nor unitary. Some call it quasi-federal. I quote Carl J. Friedrich. Generally speaking, it can be said the decentralization is indicated where functional considerations are of primary importance, whereas communal preoccupation demands a federal system.
अब समाप्त कर प्लीज
Could you give me one?
प्लीज ओके थैंक यू धन्यवाद श्री रामजीलाल जी सुमन
10 minutes you got 10 minutes, sir.
For 10 minutes.
3 minutes
सभापति जी